Well, hello. It is shot day for me. Actually, it's a day late. It is Saturday, April 11th, and it is time for my next Zepbound shot. Now, I am going up to 12.5 milligrams, and I have a surprise. Something finally arrived, and it is my 12.5 milligram Zepbound KwikPen, and this has 4 doses of medication in it. So that should cover me for 4 weeks. And so I am going to take one of these today, and we're going to do this in a real time. And this isn't something I usually show. I don't know if people will actually be interested in it because it has needles, but I don't know what I'm doing with this. So I'm going to pull out the instructions. Let's go through the instructions and figure out how to use it together so you can see how long it takes a reasonably intelligent person to figure out how to use this brand new Quick Pen. And I'm kind of excited. I don't know that this takes up any less space in my refrigerator than 4 little vials. I think it's about equal size. Um, I don't know exactly why or how I would prefer this over using the vials, other than I don't have to draw the medication in the needle myself. But let's see, like, if I end up thinking that this is easier than the vials, and I'm not 100% sure. Now, I was a little put out that when I bought this was $449, but I had to pay an extra $5 for the needles to use the pen, which is ridiculous. Like, why why does it not come with the needles? So the pen came in a box like this, with all the information on it. On the back has my prescription, so I'm not going to show that. And it does tell you what it is. Inject 1 dose under the skin once weekly, and then it has the pharmacy name and number, and then tells me how many refills I have, and I currently have 3 refills on this before my next appointment with my endocrinologist, because I see her quarterly. And then the needles came in a little bag like this. So they gave me 5 needles, probably in case I break one. And then they gave me alcohol wipes and then some gauze, which I've never needed because I've never actually drawn blood when I've done my shots. I think maybe once or twice I had a little spot of blood, but I just got it up with the alcohol wipes. So I'm going to set this aside and grab the instructions. Now, it did come with uh, obviously warnings like the uh, low blood sugar signs and symptoms. Talk to your healthcare provider before taking. So it's a medication guide that says what is Zepbound, when to not use Zepbound, and what to do before you use Zepbound. It also came with a flyer for those of you using Lilly Direct. There is some information about that's going to be changing for prescriptive. They're adding a new pharmacy processing company, I believe it is. So right now, my pharmacy that I get my medication through is called Gift Health. I don't have a choice in that. That's just what is the dispensing pharmacy. So it says that Lilly Direct connects you to the Lilly medicines and support. Prescriptive routes your prescriptions securely and gives you insight into your order. And then Gift Health dispenses the medication and handles checkout and delivery. And then it has a 1-800 number on here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. I'll try and hold still and do a freeze frame for you so you can look at it. But it says that nothing should change about the medication, and if you get something from prescriptive, that it is not spam, so don't throw it in your junk mailbox. And then the medication in the box with the pen came these 3 little information flyers. I may have a look at these later because I'm just one of those people that likes to look at information. I'm not exactly sure what information is in these yet. So I'll definitely have a scan over these later and see what is in them. It also came with a flyer about speaking to the pharmacist and talking to an expert. Apparently, it has a bunch of different state information. So you can have a look at this flyer. I'm not quite sure what's on it. ADHD, can't read it. It's too complicated. And then it comes with a really nice flyer on how to uh, prepare and inject your medication. And they also have this online. So if you want to look through it, if you are making the decision whether you want to switch from vials or to the KwikPen, or if you have the regular pens, switching to the KwikPen, because they are different. The regular pens, you don't have to do some of the things that I'm about to have to do. And on the back, it does have a 1-800 number for, it does have a 1-8 number if you need help. It also tells you you can store your medication at room temperature, 86 degrees Fahrenheit up to 30 degrees Celsius after my injection. Keep it away from heat and light, and throw away the KwikPen at 30 days after the first use, even if the KwikPen has medication in it. And also it gives instructions like if you miss your dose or you want to change your dose schedule. So it said that make sure you're taking your dose once a week, and make sure there are at least 3 days, 72 hours between doses. If you miss your medication, take it as soon as possible within 4 days. If it's more than 4 days, skip the dose and take it on the next regularly scheduled day. Do not take 2 doses within 3 days, 72 hours of each other. So that does give a lot of good information. So to store the unused KwikPen, it does say it should be in the refrigerator between 36 degrees Fahrenheit and 46 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 2 degrees Celsius to 8 degrees Celsius. Do not freeze it. If it does become frozen, you need to discard it because it has damaged the medication. It says use the used KwikPen may be used until expiration, printed on the label. And let me look what the expiration. So this is unused and stored in the refrigerator, I could keep this to September 10th, 2027. So a year and a half expiration, which is great. And again, the used ones, 30 days after use, after you take it out of the refrigerator and use it for the first time, it's only got 30 days. And it also warns you, like, don't attempt to inject any leftover medication. And from what I've heard and the research that I've done, they have a mechanism in the pen that it can only fire 4 times. Not sure that that's true, but that was some of the literature that I was seeing, that they developed a mechanism that would prevent us from using any more medication than what we should be using. Or no, not necessarily. It will prevent us from injecting more than 4 times. So say, for instance, if I wanted to do like 6.25 milligrams instead of my 12.5, I can't inject the pen 8 times. I can only fire the mechanism 4 times. But I might at one point give that a try and see whether that holds true or not. Let's see. It also does say make sure you're using an FDA cleared sharps disposal container or household container. I know on the websites they give a lot of information about what type of container to use in place of a sharps container. And I use, honestly, like an old, like hard plastic food storage container. Don't throw away in the trash. You should, just be mindful that disposing of sharps in the trash is not just safety for yourself, but for other workers. There are people that handle our trash and we don't even realize it. And if they got stuck by your needle, think about the worry that they would go through, wondering if they're going to get some type of contagious disease. So just be mindful. I know a lot of people, oh, it doesn't affect me, I'm not going to worry about it. But, we're just trying to protect other people. Okay, so this is a lot of instructions. It says wash your hands with soap and water. I just did that. Pull the KwikPen cap straight off. Inspect it. Do not use it if the medicine name or dose doesn't match your prescription. It's expired. The medication is cloudy, has particles, discolored, or has been frozen. And then I'm going to wipe the red inner seal with an alcohol swab. I'm going to select a needle and pull the lid off. So this is what I'm This is what I'm attempting to do is this first page. So I'm going to start with this and see how this goes. And I'm not cutting or editing, so this may be a little bit longer video because this is going to be real time. How long does it take Amy with ADHD to inject herself for the first time with a KwikPen? And yes, I have my glasses off because I'm that old that I can't read what I'm doing with my glasses on. Okay, so it says pull the cap straight off. Oh, I guess I should set the needle down. Pull the cap straight off. Wipe the red. You can see that. Let's get it to focus. So I got to wipe this thingy in there. I didn't touch it, but wipe that with alcohol. So I've got my alcohol. Oh, and they're in plastic, for Pete's sake. Oh, I didn't do any good. I just ended up getting plastic in my mouth. Oh, for the... So be prepared. I think you need scissors. Oh, I got it. But really, why should I be having to chew the alcohol pads? Okay, so it says to wipe this with the alcohol, which it says wipe the red inner seal. So you kind of have to scrunch it up. So kind of scrunch this up and wipe the red inner seal. So this is just for kind of sterilizing it a bit. And please excuse the nails. They're they're left over from the cruise, and I'm too cheap to pay $40 to have someone take them off. Select a new needle. Okay, pull the paper tab off and then push the capped pen needle straight onto the KwikPen and twist until it's tight. So I take this off, this little thingy. You pull that off and then you're left with that, and then it says push on. Oh, that went on easy, and then twist. Yeah, I hope you can see that. Yep. Okay, next, pull off the outer needle and shield and keep it. This will be reused. Pull off the inner needle shield and put it in your household trash. So there's this one. So you're going to keep this one. And then this one, I don't know that I like grabbing a needle. And then here is the teeny tiny needle. Look at that. That's teeny. That is so small. Okay, next. So we're moving on to the middle card. And like I said, this flyer is available on Lily's Zepbound website. I'll try and make sure I get a link for it. So slowly turn the dose knob until you hear 2 clicks. I need more hands. Gee, Merry Christmas. Okay. Slowly turn the dose knob until you hear 2 clicks and the extended line is shown in the dose window. Oh, I was turning it the wrong way. Okay, so there is the extended line. You see how that line is a little bit above, longer than the one below it? Okay, it says hold your KwikPen with the needle pointing up. Tap the cartridge holder gently to remove bubbles. Don't know what I'm doing. To collect air bubbles at the top. Okay, so now that it has the line, this is what they call the prime position. Okay, now release some medication into the air by pushing the dose knob until it stops. Oh, so this thing, I guess I push this thing until it stops. Okay, so that moved like infinitesimally. But now there's like a little drop of medicine coming out of the needle. Fascinating. I don't know. This is fascinating. Okay. Then slowly count to 5 while holding the dose knob. Okay. Do not inject in your body. Your KwikPen has been primed. And a small drop of medicine should come out the tip. And that's exactly what happened with mine. Sorry, I have to keep refocusing that. Okay, so I got my medicine out of my tip. If you still not see medicine, do steps 7 and 8, reprime it. Okay, now choose my injection site. So now I'm on to this page. Choose the injection site. So, standard, right? Sorry, I have to keep refocusing this. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now choose your injection site. And make sure you change your injection site each week. It can be the same area, but don't use exactly the same spot. So it would be like back of the arms, around the belly button, or tops of the thighs. I always do the stomach because I just don't feel it there. It says turn the dose knob all the way until it stops, and the number 1 icon is in the dose window. This is your weekly dose. Do not count the clicks. Just go to the number 1. And then it's actually time for injection, but it didn't tell me to clean my skin or anything. And I always alcohol swab myself. So, okay, so let me just read further into the directions. I'm going to read the rest of the directions really quick because I don't want to have to try and like do one step and then pause, because now we're at time of injection. So it's basically, so I'm going to turn the dose to 1, and then I'm going to insert the needle into my skin, and then I'm going to inject the medicine by pushing down the purple dose knob. So once I turn this purple knob, it's going to come further out. So I'm going to have room to be able to inject medicine. And I'm really trying not to touch this on anything while I'm doing this. Okay, so you may notice, let's say, inject the medicine by pushing the dose knob until it stops, then slowly count to 5 while holding the dose knob. You may notice the plunger moving with each injection, and the 0 icon must be shown in the dose window before removing the needle. So I'm going to turn it to 1, and then when I push the plunger down, it will turn itself back to 0. Then I'm going to pull the needle out of the skin and then confirm it's at 0. And it says, if you do not see the 0 icon in the dose, insert the needle back into your skin. Are you kidding me? With a dirty needle, I'm going to put it back into my skin to finish my injection. And then it says, but do not redial the dose. If you still do not think you received the full dose, do not start over or repeat injection. There's a troubleshooting section that you should see. If you see blood after you pull out the needle, just lightly press the injection site with gauze or a cotton ball. Do not rub the injection site. I think it's fine if you gently wipe it with a cotton swab, but it says do not rub. Then you're going to carefully place the outer shield onto the needle. You're going to unscrew the cap and put that in the sharps container. Do not store the KwikPen with the needle still attached to prevent leaking. And then you're going to replace the outer cap and then just store your KwikPen in your cabinet or someplace that it's not going to get over the temperature threshold. Okay, so let's give this a try. I'm going to set the pen down for 1 second so I can prepare my injection site. I just do around my belly button, and I am going to swab with alcohol because I'm just paranoid like that. I grew up in the age of remembering, what was it, Anna Nicole Smith that died from an infected vitamin shot or something. So yeah, I'm going to swab that. Just swab my fingertips because I did wash my hands. And then I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn it to 1. See the 0 coming back again. There's got to be a 1 in there somewhere, right? Now, I've never used the pens before, so honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I have no idea how far this number 1 is going to be. Well, it's right there, and that is dead on number 1. So it is fed the medicine somewhere. I don't know where. And I am going to inject this. Let me see if I can get. Okay, so I'm just going to put it right in my in my stomach, near my belly buttons over there. I'm just going to put that in. And of course, in true Amy fashion, as I'm going to inject it, I knock the phone off my tripod and it hits the floor. And because I'm in the middle of injecting myself, I can't stop to pick it up. But what happened was, so I inserted the needle, and as I was pushing down on this plunger, it was spinning back down, and it spun back down to 0. And then I sat here. Come on, just focus. And I sat here and waited. I actually counted like 10 seconds before I took it out. You know, I have to say that I know the medication's going in, but I can't like see it in the, like, is that the medication? Maybe, I don't know, because I see the plunger is down further. There's actually a line. Hold on, there's actually a line on this, like right here. So did I use the medication from here to here? I was not thinking, because it's so clear and there was no air bubbles. So I must have used from here to here, and then I've got a couple more doses. Yeah, I've got, looks like a couple more marks for the rest of the doses. So next dose will go to here, then the next dose will go to here, and then that will be my last dose. So interesting. So I think the weird thing is because I use the vials, and it's so obvious when the medication is coming out of the vial that this kind of threw me for a loop there for a minute. But I do like kind of see some condensation inside. Will I say that I did not feel this at all? Absolutely, because this needle is so tiny. The needles that I got from the pharmacy last time were kind of big, and they did kind of hurt a little bit. But yeah, so you just push this on, and then you twist it the opposite way of how you put it on, and this should come off. There we go. So the needle is off. You don't put back on this little tiny one because they're afraid that like you're going to stab yourself. So you don't put the inner one back on. And then you just put the lid back on, and that is it. So this took me 25 minutes, but most of it was me running my mouth. Would I say it's a little bit more complicated? A little. But I think once you do it the first time or two, it's going to be easy, because it's pretty much going to be, again, it's like pull off the lid, put the needle on, no, pull off the lid, clean the inside, the little red thing with alcohol. Then you're going to put the new needle on and pull the caps off. You're going to prime this by turning it 2 clicks and then pressing the plunger, getting a little medication coming out. And then you're going to turn it to 1 and then stick the needle in, push the plunger down, inject yourself, wait 5 seconds, maybe 10, but you don't have to like push, just put the needle in, and you don't have to like apply pressure and like shove it down into your skin and indent, because that's usually where you'll get your blood coming out. And I've seen people bruise themselves. But yeah, and then once you're done, again, just take the needle off and put the lid back on, and then dispose of the needle properly. So that was let's come stick ourselves with a 12.5 milligram dosage of Zepbound, and I'm hoping that it works and that I will break my 59-pound stall. Actually, today is weigh-in day, folks, and I have actually already weighed in, but I'm not going to give the secret away of whether I lost weight or didn't lose weight. This would be weigh-in 60. Is it weigh-in 60? Hold on, let me look. Yes, this is dose 60 of Zepbound. So this will be, I did take 12.5 on my last, when I did my injection, because I have vials of 15. Technically, my doctor wanted me at 10, but she let me buy the 15 in case I needed to up my dosage at any point without having to bother her or get a new prescription. But yeah, she and I talked about it thoroughly. So this is not medical advice. Do not do what I do because I'm doing it. Talk to your doctor and have a conversation. So if you're using the individual vials, you need to only have the vials that are at your dosage, or can you have higher ones on hand, because you may feel like you're getting food noise back, or you're getting hunger cravings, or you're getting the signs from your body that it is time to titrate up. And you know, sometimes like getting a new prescription can take 2 or 3 weeks, and some of us don't want to wait that long. So just, you know, talk to your doctor about it. But so that is it for the day. Be on the lookout for my weigh-in for shot number 60. And that should be I think it's week 68. Shot 60, week 67. So I'm 7 weeks. I started my weight loss journey 7 weeks before I started the medication. And yeah, so be on the lookout for the video for week number 67, shot number 60 of my Zepbound journey. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You know, if you're interested in membership, I do put out member-only videos. There's 3 levels to choose from, and that just helps support my channels, helps feed my cats, and helps pay for my medication. So, you know, completely up to you, but subscribing is free. Watching the videos is free. If you want to be reminded every time I release a new video or I go live, just hit that bell button and turn all your notifications on. And then you'll be notified every time I come on live. And I usually go live 6 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. If I have a schedule change, I always try to announce it in advance. And we have a great time. Everybody comes in, chitter chatters, and tells their story about their weight loss. So thank you so much for joining me today. Have a fabulous day, and I really wish you the best on your weight loss journey. And I hope this video helps if you're trying to decide whether you're going to do the KwikPen, or you're going to stay with the individual pens, or you're going to stay on the vials. And you know what? I honestly have a feeling that they probably are going to stop selling those individual pens now that we have the KwikPens. So just be on the lookout for that. I haven't heard any rumblings, but you know, business is business, and they may decide that they don't need to manufacture both of them. So have a fabulous day. I'll see you again soon.
I've cried in silence, but I'm done with that. Now I rise with rhythm, imagine that. Strong legs, brave heart, I'm building my pace, dancing through the chaos, finding my grace. 100